Captain Thayer certainly found a bumper crop of guard recruits at Hoarfrost Downs. I wonder how he did it.
You there? Ah, my butterfly found me a strong helper. If you're out here chasing butterflies, perhaps you have time to assist the druids of the Stonelore Circle with a matter of great importance. I'm not as young as I used to be and could use your help. The volcano stirs, as if encouraged by an outside force. More importantly, the local volcanic vents, which normally lie dormant, are suddenly teeming with activity. I fear if I don't discover the cause, the destruction will be unimaginable. I need your help investigating the vents. I must commune with the spirits at each site to determine the best course of action. But catching those buggers requires someone spry, and the ritual is easier with 2 people. I'll pay if you'll help. The creatures you catch at each vent will be my conduit to their nature spirits. Then I'll need your help to perform the ritual. Now, let's hurry. Time is short, and we don't want to try and dance with lava. I said, as if encouraged by an outside force. It could be nothing more than the ramblings of an old druid. I just know that this activity is strange, but much of nature is thanks to Ifra and his earth bones. I am. The 2 of us would not be having such a friendly conversation were I part of the Eldertide Circle. Lucky you. Can't say much about the Fire Song Circle, however, and I don't care to. Oh? I knew you looked like the helpful sort. You have my thanks for assisting them. It's comforting to know you're a friend to my people. There are many who view druids with suspicion, or worse. Easily. I may be old, but I'm still a druid. I am an arbiter of Ifra's will, and therefore my magic helps me take care of and communicate with nature. I can make flowers grow beneath your feet if I wish, and I can summon spirits. Catching the creatures requires a swift hand, but I also need a bit of your own energy to do the ritual. Once you catch something, you'll need to release it toward me so I can draw on both your power and the creatures to communicate with the spirit. Grab that little one there. That'll do. Excellent work. Now, to perform the ritual, stand over there, concentrate on the butterfly, and release it toward me. Butterfly spirits are notoriously difficult to understand, but that was useful, I think. Let's continue. That was somewhat enlightening. Insect nature spirits are a peculiar kind. They always communicate so quickly it's near impossible to parse. It's hard to put into words. Butterflies are fickle creatures, naturally, and even more so when distressed. But it at least communicated to me that a disturbance in the natural order happened quite recently. Curious. There's a quick critter now. Catch it, would you? All right, now just stand over there, concentrate, and release the dragonfly to me. Careful! Dragonflies are such poets. The spirit mentioned a high concentration of magicka here. Worrying. A concerning piece of information, but a piece all the same. Come, let us continue. Yes, though neither the spirit nor I are able to determine the source. But abundant magicka in any place that it doesn't belong is a problem. Another part of the puzzle. That's a fine specimen there. Grab him. Well done, my friend. Now, help me perform the ritual. Let's speak. Well, that was enlightening. I thank you for your help. You're quick on your feet. I remember when I could snatch an errant bug from the very sky. Oh, those were the days. Oh, my mind wanders. Let us focus on the task at hand. In a sense, natural spirits do not always communicate in ways that are clear, even to druids. We are but observers of Ifra's will. Still, based on what I've learned, I've developed a theory. One that confuses me greatly. The spirits noticed an abundance of magic, both at the vents and within the volcano itself. My people are the only ones who can claim power over volcanic forces. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone want to usher a volcano along? Not forever. But now that I know the nature of the activity, I can conduct a ritual to calm the vents. That way they won't be a danger to anyone. At least not for a while. But to do so, I need your young legs again. How do you feel about torch bugs? The ritual requires an attuned torch bug. I always carry a few on my person. Here, take him. Gently. I'll need you to toss the bright-bummed lad into the largest volcanic vent. It's just to the north. Don't worry, no harm will come to the torch bug. Quickly, this way! We're too late! I'll try to contain it! Still overloaded! event while you use the torch bug to seal it. Well, that was invigorating. Thank you for your help. I wouldn't have been able to handle all of those creatures on my own. You are a marvel across the battlefield. You saved the day, my sprightly friend. It was. The volcanic vents have been contained, at least for now. The danger is past. The underlying mystery persists, however. Who would use magic to awaken the volcano, and why? I must ponder this. Here, your reward. I appreciate your help. You have my gratitude. Without your help, I would never have discovered how to quell the volcanic vents. Perhaps in time I will puzzle out how exactly they became active again in the first place. But for now, I am content to merely thwart disaster. I intend to determine the cause of this new volcanic activity to the best of my ability. Thanks to you, I am no longer in danger of drowning in a molten wave of Ifra's wrath. Now, I can take my time with my investigation. Were it not for the excess of magic, I would think it nothing more than an example of Ifra's uncompromising and intractable will. But there is more to this. Dread brews in my stomach like a terrible storm. Or perhaps that's just gas. Who can say?
Shook. Look at Ifalon in the distance, I've never seen Mount Firesong so active. I don't like the looks of that volcano, as if we didn't have enough trouble already. Could this be related to what Valencia and you discovered at the Druidic Circle? Could the Ascendant Magus really affect the volcano to such an extent? That's true. The ground rumbled when he summoned a storm at the castle, and the volcanic vents became active after he conjured the storm that wrecked the Alliance ships. There was no storm this time, though. Absolutely nothing, dear. But Mount Firesong hasn't erupted in centuries. The Druids maintain its slumber. Let's hope they can keep it calm until we stop the Magus from drawing more power. In the meantime, let's look inside Mistmouth Cave, shall we? Anything that points us to the Order's upcoming meeting. If the Ascendant Magus sent out a summons, someone here should know about it. And keep watch for anything else of importance. You never know what clue will be the one to solve the mystery. Mount Firesong is the volcano that rises above the island of Ifilon. You can see it in the distance. It's always been restless, and its vents and hot springs stretch throughout the archipelago. I didn't think too much about the initial rumbles. The Stone Lord Druids administer to the vents here on High Isle, but the Firesong Circle controls Ifilon. Outsiders aren't welcome there, and I've never seen one of their druids. They say the fire songs work to keep the volcano appeased. Head inside. I'm right behind you. Voltesh. Be careful. They're drawn to volcanic activity. Dead Ascendant Order Knights? They must have fallen to the lava creatures. A map of Castle Navarre. The Order attacked there already, but this map shows a river where there shouldn't be one. This cave is crawling with Ascendant Order Knights and Volkesh. We should be careful. The Magus must have come here to continue his experiments. He plans to use this power in their next attack. Another tremor. Step carefully, dear. summons to a council of the Ascendant Order. This is what we've been looking for. Let's talk. So let's review what we found. First, there was a map of Castle Navir that showed a river that doesn't exist. At least it's not on the surface. If it depicts an underground river, it could also indicate a hidden passage beneath the castle. Let me see that again. Yes. The Ascendant Magus thinks he can draw on the volcano to lend power to his spells. The next target they attack, he'll have more control over his ritual. Below the Sleeping Knights? What could that mean? Statues or bodies? I suspect we're looking for catacombs again, like the ones we found beneath a Bane chapel. But I saw no Sleeping Knights there. I assume that the poor departed Banneret Janine succumbed either to the heat and fumes in these caves, or to the Volkesh that congregate near the lava pools. But their misfortune is our good luck. We have what we need to move forward. Of course, it becomes quite clear when you put all the pieces together. The Deforts have interred their dead in the vaults beneath their castle for centuries. The Order must be meeting in the Navia dungeons. I'll collect your Khan and meet you there.